Hey, welcome to the Fish Bluewater channel, guys. This is part 2 of a Wahoo lure rigging video. And in this particular video, we're gonna pick up where we left off and we're gonna show you actually how to build an Islander style high-speed lure from your double rig skirt underneath and obviously the braided cable rig that runs through it. So enjoy. There's our lure, and at the end of the day, this thing is now ready to fish. But we're not done yet. I'm sure you guys might want to see, just out of curiosity, because this hook set was already pre-rigged. I'm gonna go through that process with you guys and show you how we put together one of those cable rigs, just like what's sitting inside this lure right now. So here we go. We've got 480 pound pre-cut cable. You can see by my arm length here, it's probably about 5.5 feet right now as it stands. And we need to get ourselves situated here with double barrel crimp, which is fine. This hook actually is a little smaller than I'd prefer. Something closer to this size, but it's what I've got handy right now. I'm gonna have to go pick up some more hooks at the shop. But this will still work fine. This is probably an 11-0 on my right-hand side, and this is either a 9 or a 10-0. But I'd probably prefer something just a little bit larger as far as the hook size is concerned. All right, first things first, got our hook on. I'm gonna take that down. I'm gonna cinch it nice and tight. Try and keep it as tight to that hook there as possible. All right, and then you get these crimpers should work fine for this. I'm just gonna have, as you saw in the previous video, the bigger crimpers as well. These are a little bit easier to work with. So we're about to duplicate. If you want to, and if you really want to be fancy with this, you can get yourself a flat bench crimper at home where you just stick them right in, and it's super fast and easy to get the crimp done. I don't have one, so we're going old school, old fashioned. Now, so we've got the hook attached. We got to get our spacers on, right? So nothing complicated about that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get the idea. And getting a little bird. 9, 10, 11. Let's see what that looks like. That's 11. And we got a rig here. We're gonna make one actually for you guys. So if we were to, this one's already pre-made. Let's just look and see, just out of curiosity, about where those beads are gonna sit. Yeah, I think that looks good. Let's go with 11. The skirts are about a little over 12 inches. Like I said, we're gonna cut them back anyways. So now, what we need next is our heat shrink tube, right? And we need enough heat shrink tube basically to come down over the back edge of this hook and just over the beads themselves. So I'll just kind of measure that out. That looks pretty good right there. Don't lose the beads. And cut with the scissors. I'm done with the heat shrink for right now. Now we're going to take that heat shrink. We're going to drop it down on, run the cable right through it. And there you go. You can see we want that to just, like I said, take the pressure off of that. Hook's laying right there. I want, there's the, if you can see it, there's the shank of the hook. It's about where we want that to set. So let's make sure our beads are where they need to be. And then once we got that, we're pretty much good to go. So now all I'm going to do is hit this with the torch so we can heat that up. Kind of want to spin it around. Starting to take shape. Not to burn it. All right. So there you have it. We're going to let that cool for a second. So that heat shrink, obviously what it does is it stiffens everything up. You want your hook obviously to lay kind of nice and basically almost be kind of like a stiff rig, upright or straight underneath. And the heat shrink, of course, helps to keep everything tight and in line like that. So we've got that part done. Now let me show you how we created this. So 2 skirts here inside of each other, and as I said, we've got a 3-ounce egg. I'm going to just look. If you remember the pre-rigged one, we had a little bit of an issue with the opening in the cable. So I got this needle. Just go through and try and make sure there's no burrs or everything looks good. All right, so first thing you need to do, this is gonna be my top skirt, this will be my underneath skirt. With your scissors, you just wanna pinch the end of the skirt and just cut off enough to give you an opening to work with to get your line and everything through. Same thing with the underskirt. All right, and then ultimately this skirt is going to go up inside this. The inside skirt gets the lead. Now what I have over here that I'll show you a little trick, just a little bit of like dish soap also will make life a lot easier in terms of getting the skirts inside of each other, as well as the lead up inside the skirt, etc., etc. So just took a little fingertips worth and stick that lead down in there like so. I'm going to push that lead down inside. And you need to make sure that it's obviously in there properly for the line to travel straight through it. You can see that. So we got the lead, the opening of the lead squared up with the opening of the skirt. And now, take another little dab of this. And I'm going to just, on the outside of this skirt, maybe just kind of run my finger in the inside of that skirt, push it in, and just like that, it was nice and easy to get that in there. Skirt's good to go. Okay, look at that. We have created and constructed a double skirt. So just like we did before, we're this far along, so I'll take you from complete beginning to end. My lead's right about there, so that's going to sit, that hook's going to sit right about there in the skirt, and I want to cut it probably right about where my chafe gear is, ends up on the shank of the hook. So I would say probably looks good right about there. And kind of roll it a little bit back and forth just to get your cut nice and even for the most part. I think there might be a little right there on that end. We've kind of, that's cooled off. It's still warm, but it's fine to obviously rig it the way it is. And again, we're now gonna come right back through this braided wire rig that we created, double skirt with the lead through the egg sinker, like so. We're going to drop that right in. That's ready to go. Now I don't have, we'll use this one maybe. This skirt needs maybe a little conditioner. It's missing an eye, but for the purposes of this tutorial, I probably won't finish it off. So I'll probably put a different skirt on top. But again, right through here on your, this is like a generic Islander. It's a lot less expensive, I can promise you that. And it will probably perform just as well. Wire right through there. And that's it, guys. Obviously, we still would have to do this. I'm not going to finish the end on the thimble like I did for you before, because I may end up going with a different head on this. I haven't decided, and I don't want to crimp this off only to have to cut the cable again. But just like that, some guys will even just get it this far in case they want to make a change, because if you get to this point, right, and you haven't crimped this off, very easily, if you decided you want to change a head before you deploy it in the water while you're fishing and you have extra heads, you can do that and then crimp it off. But that's it right there, guys. In a few simple steps, you can have yourself an arsenal of Wahoo slaying high-speed lures. We'll put everything down below in the description. But again, just to recap, your main parts and pieces are going to be a 10-0 to an 11-0. Typically, I like a stainless pre-sharpened hook. You want to make sure you carry one of these standard kind of milled files on the boat with you in case you do need to put an extra edge on the hook if it dulls, or you've got some older hook sets that need a little sharpening. So 10-0 to 11-0 hook. You've got your, I believe this was 1/2-inch heat shrink tube, your standard glow beads. You can also get like arts and crafts beads from an arts and crafts store, very economical, those will work. 480-pound cable, although this is a little bit heavier. This is right here, is definitely 480-pound cable. And then you need your appropriate sized double barrel, non-aluminum, double barrel crimp, and get you a wide variety of your octopus or squid skirts. You definitely want to go double skirted because it adds a little bit more body to the skirt, and it just, in terms of the way that it presents, the way that it tracks, if you get extra bites, I think you're much better off with the double skirted approach. 3-ounce egg sinker, and then of course the last piece is your Islander style head. So put that on your Christmas wish list. Get your crew together if you haven't done it before. It's a lot of fun, and hopefully we will see you out on the water in a part 2 version for this, so that you can see these lures in action and hopefully some wahoo coming over the gunnels. But until then, have a blessed day. Thanks for joining the channel, and we'll see you for the next Fish Blue Water video.